Good morning, YouTube. All right, school is back in session, which means our schedule has gotten insanely busy. I'm going to show you how to shortcut meal prep all through the week by cooking a little bit ahead on the weekend. All right, we're making a slow cooker pulled pork that is so insanely good you won't believe it, but it's also a shortcut to meal prep all the way through the week. You're going to love this one. All right, let's cook, y'all. We got a family to feed. So with school coming back in, our schedule gets insane, and at night, of course, I want the kids to have a good dinner. Sometimes the kids are going 5,000 directions, and just from experience, I have learned that there are still ways you can accommodate that. And one of the ways I like to do it is not quite batch cooking, but doing some pre-prep. Here's what I mean. Yesterday I poached about 5 pounds of chicken, and the chicken is in the refrigerator ready to go whenever I come in and want to make a meal. And I have over here this, well, it's not hot. This is a 7.5 pound pork butt, right? Which is actually a shoulder. It's a pork shoulder. You might see it as a Boston pork butt or a picnic cut. Any of that works, okay? So it's 7.5 pounds here. And I'm going to stick this in the slow cooker, and then when it's done, I'm going to pull it out, let it cool, I'm going to shred it, and then this is ready to go. And you can do anything you want to with it. You can make soups and stews and enchiladas and burritos and that kind of stuff. I'm actually going to be making chicken enchiladas with the chicken I made yesterday. That's nice and cold, so it'll be easy to shred. But this, I'm getting ready because I have time today to do it. I'm getting this ready so that later in the week, if I've got a really insane, crazy day, I can pull it out, throw together some pulled pork sandwiches, and boom, dinner's done, right? Okay, so here's how we do this. So right here, I don't know why I threw all this in the same bucket, but I have about 10 or 12 cloves of garlic. These are really great big cloves of garlic. And I have about 1.5 cups of baby carrots. Normally I would just use regular carrots, but my daughter bought these at Sam's Club, and then she didn't eat them as fast as she said she would, and so now I gotta use them up. Okay, fine. And 3 stalks of celery, all of which I just kind of chunked, right? These are just to flavor. We're flavoring our pork roast with these things. Right here I have 3 types of pepper. I've got red pepper, orange pepper, and jalapeno. And I didn't even mess with the jalapeno much. I just cut it into big chunks like this. You can use whatever color you want. You can use poblanos, you can use Anaheims. Just plain old green bell pepper, that works as well. And then, grab my knife, 1 yellow onion. So this also is just gonna get chunked up. So cut it this way, get rid of your skins. Now a pork butt, this one's right at 7.5 pounds. The trick to pulled pork is being patient. Now it's already afternoon, which means it would be 7 or 8 o'clock tonight before this has cooked long enough to get silky and velvety, which is what you're wanting to do, okay? So this is not for tonight, this is for tomorrow. I'm going to let it cook most of the day. I'm going to let it cool down in its cooking liquid. I'm going to stash this entire crock pot insert in the refrigerator. And then tomorrow, I will pull it out, shred the pork, and it'll be ready to use. So tomorrow we might have pulled pork sandwiches. All right. So on your crock pot, or whatever you got, your slow cooker, set it to its longest setting. Mine will actually go to 10 hours. We're gonna throw a few seasonings in here, just because it's necessary. So that's 7.5 pounds of meat. That's a lot. And you want your cooking liquid. Your roast itself will release a lot of liquid. Your vegetables will release a lot of liquid. But we're giving this about 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. Sounds like a lot, but remember, you've got 8 pounds of food in here. That's a lot of food. And then we're also going to give it 2 tablespoons of coarse black pepper. Now, after about an hour and a half, once the vegetables have started to break down and the meat has started to release some liquid, I will come back and kind of squish everything around so that those seasonings get more well distributed than they are at the moment. But for right now, I'm just throwing everything on top. It's okay. Whoop. Okay, so there's 2 teaspoons of red pepper flake and then about a teaspoon, which I just threw on my counter. Okay, so there we go. Now you got a couple options at this point if you want to, and I usually hold off because you can add these things later as you're doing the individual dishes. So like if you wanted to, you could toss in some liquid smoke. This is sesame oil. This is not liquid smoke, so don't add this. You could put in cumin and chili powder or chili, you know, other kind of Tex-Mex seasonings if you wanted to at this point. I'm holding off because I can make both Tex-Mex type dishes, or I can do something like a Korean taco, or I can do a pulled pork sandwich, or I can do something like pozole. I can do all of those things with this flavor base right here, right? So this gives me lots of phenomenal pulled pork, but it also gives me a lot of options, all right? So this is all that happens here. Lid goes on. And this is just gonna go until right before bed tonight. Then I'm gonna throw that in the refrigerator and we'll come back tomorrow and deal with the rest of that. Good morning. I'm trying to see if this cabinet will stay closed, and no, it won't. It just pops open. Alright, so all I did was exactly what I said. I let that go until last night, and I checked it in the fridge, and then this morning threw it on put the insert thing back in. I just put it on warm. You don't want it super hot. Holy cow, I am stuck. There, finally. Phew. You don't want it super hot because you just burn your hands. But it's easiest to pull when it has cooled down some, but it's still kind of warm. Does that make sense? I hope so. And then I like to do this. I've got a cutting board that I set inside a rimmed baking sheet. I think it makes it easiest to contain the mess. Hang on, let me show you this. Look here. All right, so here's what we look like. And that went 10 hours yesterday. It went a good long time, okay? And you see how that's just falling apart? That's what you're after. You're after this. See how that just comes, boom, it just shreds. That's perfect. And this texture is gonna be just velvety. It really is something extraordinary. All right, so now when I'm pulling pulled pork, and that's what this is, what you're looking for a couple things. Obviously, obviously, if you've let it go long enough and nice and low, there's no work to this. But here's what you are looking for. You see this? See that? That's just fat. Wait a minute, how come? There. There you go. That's just fat. It's not pleasant. And so that I simply pull off, okay, and separate. So this we're gonna get rid of because that's icky. But all of this is phenomenal. That's just a strip of pepper. You do whatever you want to with that. All right, so that's all there is to this part. I'm gonna keep pulling it out of this slow cooker. Oh, look, guys, see that? That's the shoulder bone. That just popped out there by itself. I used to think it was okay to give that to the dog, and I did. And I'm just glad I didn't hurt my dog, because apparently that's not cool. I swear I thought it was. I thought it was all right. So don't do that, because apparently it will splinter and hurt your puppy dog, which is the worst thing I've ever heard. All right, guys, so here we go. I'm just going to pull the rest of this meat out of here. I'm going to separate all this icky stuff, like this fatty gunk. And then on the rest of it, I'm going to shred up. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's ready to be used throughout the rest of the week. Because that, y'all, is money in the bank as far as having a meal come ready. Alright, that took no time. 2 forks. right? And just run it through everything. I just went ahead and finished picking out the little bits of fat and separated out the rest of the little, you know, the squished vegetables that had really kind of given up all they had. And then threw it in here and just running my fork through it. It smells heavenly. And it's ready to go. Okay, my favorite thing to do, I think the easiest thing to do, is butter a burger bun, toast it, and throw that on a burger bun with some barbecue sauce and a pickle. Oh my god, that is so good. Second favorite thing to do, enchiladas. That's so fucking good. Okay, alright. So, one last thing. You still have a ton of liquid over here, right? Tons of liquid. Normally, that is too richly flavored to use all by itself. It's incredibly porky. It gives a lot of flavor. However, if you strain it and separate it and pull the fat off, you can use the fat to saute the most incredible potatoes you've ever had, or to drizzle when you reheat your pulled pork. Yummy. And then the broth you can use in small amounts to flavor up soups and stews and chilies. It's an amazing way to add a lot of flavor with almost no effort. Okay, so there you go, guys. Quick and easy pulled pork. You got about 4 meals just halfway done. How about that? Hey YouTube, thanks for watching, and if you thought that video was helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get a notification whenever I post a new video. And if you have a second, hop on over to Patreon and check out how to support my channel even more. Again, thanks for watching.